Greetings to all the viewers out there watching this video right now. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to have you guys back. Welcome to also all the new viewers out there watching this video right now. I just hope that you guys enjoy the content. Subscribe and stay for more epic content which will be coming up soon. Also, a huge shout out to all the horror fanatics who are watching this video right now. Today actually marks the first time which I'll be doing a movie review. What makes it all the more special is I know you guys know that I'm a horror fanatic, and I'm a horror fanatic at heart, like it is right here, guys. But yes, today I'll be doing a horror movie review. What also makes it even more special, again, is that it's a local South African horror movie. Today we'll actually be looking at the movie 8, otherwise known as The Soul Collector, directed by Harold Holscher himself. Sorry, I hope I pronounced your surname right. Harold Holscher. Is it Harold Holt? Yes, Harold Holscher. I'm actually sad that I didn't discover the movie at the time it came out, because I probably would have been there for the hype, but it's cool. It's chilled. I watched it. It was an amazing movie. So I'm just here to speak about that. So just a bit of a disclaimer, guys. Obviously there are spoilers ahead. So if you haven't watched the movie and you are planning to, please stop the video right now and go watch the movie and come right back so I can explain every little single thing to you. Okay, so just giving you guys a general synopsis of the movie. 8 tells the story of an unaccomplished William Zeal who returns to the farmhouse he inherited from his estranged father with his wife Sarah and their adopted niece Mary. Soon after moving in, they meet a mysterious local outcast, Lazarus, who carries with him a dark secret that'll put everyone at risk. Lazarus persuades William to hire him in spite of Sarah's reservations and successfully forges a kindred bond with Mary, who, like him, still aches for her lost kin. But among the locals, Lazarus is an unwelcome menace who carries a dark secret in his sack, a demon reincarnation of his deceased daughter with an insatiable appetite for human souls. In his pursuit to calm her nag, he facilitates several deaths and killings in the village, drawing the struggle closer to the Zeals. Lazarus basically underwent a tragedy back then while he was working for William's father, whereby he lost his daughter and wife. We see him approach the house trying to save his family while the fire was burning, and the locals actually stopped him, saying, listen, it's a bit too late to actually go save them right now. So obviously with so much pain and grief, a demon approaches Lazarus within disguise, obviously not seeing him, and he offers Lazarus a chance to actually see his daughter again. You know, with demon contracts, the first thing which they're going to ask for is human souls. This is all according to supernatural knowledge, by the way. Yes, I watch a lot of supernatural, so I'm not out here taking a demonology book and being like, demons do this and that and this and that. But further continuing, we can actually see that later this is the reason why the locals actually dislike Lazarus, because of the contract that he had formed with the demon. Okay, so just jumping a bit ahead into the movie, which basically explains partly why this area or this local area is actually so important. There's a question which is asked Lazarus, asking why is the place so important and why does he got to be within bounds of the area. And Lazarus actually explains that this is an area whereby crossroads actually cross paths, and from my supernatural fan theory again, crossroads actually were areas where demons actually form contracts with other humans, so obviously that's where they actually sold their souls. It's actually a fun one. So there's a point in time where Lazarus actually gives Mary a jar of moths, right? There were 2 moths, I believe. Remember, Mary had actually lost her biological parents. William and Sarah aren't Mary's biological parents, just for those who think that that's the child, that's their child. We do actually realize that later on to the movie, Sarah actually can't get pregnant, so hence why they actually adopted Mary. So it is understood that later on at some point Mary actually loses her parents, and later into the movie when they get into purgatory, which is the pink scene that they get into once Mary's soul had actually been taken by Lazarus, we do see that Mary's parents actually do exist within purgatory. So if their souls actually exist within purgatory, that means that they actually haven't traveled to the afterlife, right? So isn't it suspicious that Lazarus actually carries 2 moths within a jar and legit gives it to Mary? Because I mean, Lazarus must have known Mary's parents, right? Somehow. And I don't know, I'm just speculating that probably those 2 moths within the jar probably must have been Mary's parents. Okay, so getting into the one juiciest part of the movie, which I honestly would also, or let me say I'm still sort of figuring out, is whereby when Lazarus gives Mary the chance to either stay in purgatory and stay with her spirit or kindred parents, or to actually have a soul and get it released so that she can go back to the real world. We see that Mary actually disappears into purgatory, hence therefore saying that she wants to go back to the real world. But what I don't get is that before then she had taken her jar beside Sarah's bed and placed it right there. And obviously we know that during that moment when Sarah was actually being, I don't know, helped by the locals, we do see that the demon does approach her and obviously give her a chance to get pregnant since she could not get pregnant. So obviously, you know, demons try to trick them, saying that, listen, if you do my bidding, you will get a baby. And we see that later into the movie, Sarah actually accepts this towards the end shot and starts chanting what Lazarus used to chant in the beginning of the movie. So what I'm trying to understand right now is when Mary had given the jar, I thought that Mary probably would have returned to her original body, and we don't see that she's dead, but they don't show Mary towards the end of the movie. So does it show that she actually died, or where did she go? So I don't know. But then we do see that the time when Lazarus actually dragged out Mary's soul from her mouth, the mouth was white. The rest of the other moths that we've seen were actually brown, so that must say something. And we see that towards the end of the movie, Sarah actually eats a white moth. Does that signify that is this Mary trying to be reborn within her, or is this just Sarah actually feeding the womb that is within inside already trying to feed? Because you know that Lazarus actually gave the demon the moths or the people's souls to actually eat. So does that actually mean that at the end of the day, the demon gets what it wants by feeding on Mary's soul, because it ate a white moth, right? And Mary's soul was white. So I mean, guys, it only makes sense. 1 + 1 = 2. Don't fight me on that. At some point, the villagers do say that the good tree bears bad fruit, and that does signify that something bad is actually going within Sarah's womb. So honestly, I feel like that's just the part for me towards the end which I don't really understand where Mary's soul went. Is it Mary that's getting eaten up? Is she being reborn within Sarah? Is that just the demon eating up Sarah's soul? Because Mary actually just disappears, so it don't make sense. So if you guys know something, let me know down in the comments, because honestly I would actually really love to know. Into the review side of things, guys, honestly the movie was great. I'm actually glad that South Africa is actually stepping up within the genre. Horror within the South African genre is actually very rare. It's just something that's actually picking up right now compared to the other movies which I've watched in the horror genres. This was not mediocre. It wasn't mediocre. The other ones I've seen weren't so great for me. This is actually the first movie which I can see that there's a bit of an improvement in the genre itself. So I'm actually pretty happy with what the director and the producers did. The guys who are working behind the lens as well, the guys who were editing, you guys really did a brilliant job. Keep it up, please keep it up. Please keep it up. I really want to see more. I do see that places like Showmax are actually trying to broadcast other things like Pinky. And so just giving you guys a bit of background, South African culture actually has a lot of folklore within different cultures, and honestly from hearing some of the things which I heard growing up, they're actually really creepy. So if that can actually be incorporated into the big screen and actually be shown on the big screen, I'd actually be really happy to see what you guys come up with, because guys, we have content for days but it's just not being utilized. So just giving off general comments, the cinematography of the movie was crisp, it was beautiful, it was clear. Thank you guys for working so hard on that, the guys working behind the camera crew. The producers, you guys really did a brilliant job in bringing about crisp pictures. The color grading of the footage, the certain shots that you guys gave was actually brilliant. There was sort of a dull sense of, you know, imagery that sort of brought us closer to the eerie feeling of the movie itself. Especially shots whereby, for example, where Sarah was actually dreaming that Uthuli was actually there, or the knocking from the door, and the one angle camera shot, or let me say the one camera follow through which you guys did was actually brilliant, sort of bringing us closer to it. But also just giving a few general notes. I feel like you guys should have just kept this in deeper by actually continuing the shot all the way to make it a single shot and not cutting, because once you cut, you now bring us away from the attention that something is there with her. So that probably would have made it more creepy. Also guys, just commenting about the sounds as well. The music which you guys brought was actually really good. I'm actually satisfied. It also brought up the eerie feeling that, listen, we are in a creepy sense, vibey type of area. I would just say that bring it home, guys. Bring it home. Make it more African. Bring them hoo-ha chanting sounds. Make it as original as possible. Bring it home, honestly. It's the same thing with the characters as well. I thought those people probably would have been like Afrikaans people, like, yo guys, I'm gonna talk some deep Afrikaans here and just like, you know, bring it home, milk it the fact that this is a local film, and make it scary, because I feel like the more you bring it home, anybody who's watching it from the local area would probably feel more freaked out, because for them it's just like, you know, we were told the story as children, and therefore it's just like, yeah, I feel more scared than I actually was before, because now you guys are actually visually showing this to us. So bring it closer to home, make it more original, even though you guys did a brilliant job in legit doing what you guys need to do. It was let me say it was substantial enough for us to see that now, guys, this is home. Okay, so just getting into a bit of my general notes, just a few things which I just personally want to say, in my opinion, is I feel like I actually wish you guys made Lazarus' character more sinister. For example, parts where, let's say, he isn't in front of William's family and the rest, I wish you guys made him more sinister, especially towards the locals, because they know exactly the history of Lazarus. So for example, the time when William went back to his car in the one scene, and the time when Lazarus said he's going to speak to the locals, I wish Lazarus switched up for more of a tour. So I hope you guys get what I mean when I say that. Make Lazarus' character more sinister to bring off the creepiness feeling towards it. I don't want to say much about the CGI. You guys actually did really well with the effects. The whole moth coming out of the mouth, that actually looked really creepy, especially the opening scene with the old man when it was coming out. That was creepy for me. I was like, whoa guys, what is this that's coming out of his mouth? I thought it was a bug until I realized it was a moth, and I was like, okay, cool. But the CGI, the effects team, the visual effects team, you guys actually did really well. That was pretty intense. Guys, just please fix the purgatory. The whole pink situation that you guys did there was actually pretty, I don't know about that, was a bit cringy. But I mean, I'm honestly satisfied with what you guys tried to do. You guys did the job. It did the job. It did what it needed to do. But all I can say is I know that we are improving in terms of CGI, in terms of effects as well, and I know that it's going to become better. I'm glad that they didn't try to focus too much on jump scares. It was more based on the creepiness factor of the movie itself. The movie certainly was creepy, especially towards the end, when the whole feeling of how you guys ended it really made us feel like, oof, okay, geez. So I couldn't really say it was a good ending. It's not a bad ending. It's just, it's a whole gray area. It's gray areas, like my friend says. It's gray areas. So honestly, I'm satisfied. I would give the movie like a 7, an 8 out of 10. I'm not going to be too dramatic on the rating of it. It was honestly a good movie to watch. I enjoyed it. I suggest that you guys go watch it as well. Just giving you guys a few fun facts which I actually learned over the time that I had waited a bit, because I'm just gonna read this from my phone. Inspired by a personal journey of loss and grief, Harold Halsher wrote the script after the passing of his friend and the questions he had about the afterlife. Another interesting fact about the iconic stars featured within the film, Tamano Sebe, the guy who acts as Lazarus, is actually a cunning linguist who can speak 9 out of the 11 South African languages. So my nigga, I can't even speak my own language fluidly. Okay, so an interesting fact about the movie is that it took the director Harold Halsher 10 years to write the script of this movie, guys. That is pretty intense. But I mean, I would low-key understand as well. I mean, the genre of horror back then really was non-existent. I see that some movies are actually trying to come up now in terms of the horror genre. So I mean, I wouldn't really say you picked a bad time to release it, but though 10 years though. And then one last interesting factor which my friend Homotso actually really brought to my attention before I actually read this, is that the number 8 doubles up as an infinity sign and is referenced in one of the movie's quotes, suggesting that perhaps we never really die. Yes guys, if there's anything that I had missed about the review or just some of the explanations of the movie, please do comment down in the comment section below. I would like to know from your side. It's not 100% perfect of everything that I got, so if I did flop here or there, let me know so I can correct that. It is my first movie review, but thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time.